Hi guys, Kevin here. Nice to see you again. We're up in the kitchen garden this evening and we're going to talk about tomatoes, which happen to be right behind me. And specifically, I wanted to talk with you about what I do for my plants in order to help them to stay healthy throughout the growing season. Now, these are indeterminate tomatoes, which means they can grow to indeterminate heights. And that's why I gave them this 7-foot tall trellis on which to grow. The tomatoes are growing in an 8x4 bed, which is not a lot of room, but I have 10 plants and they are planted very closely together. Now, if you want to grow your plants very close together, then you should probably grow them to a single stem too, especially if you live in a hot and humid climate as I do. Now, the first thing I do for the plants is to remove any leaves that would come in contact with the ground. And I do that because when it rains, water can splash up on the leaves and the leaves can end up getting fungal diseases or something called late blight or early blight. As you can see, I've already cut off the lower branches from this plant. Yet another leaf touching the ground. Snip! This one is touching the ground as well. Adios! Oh, you should remove those lower leaves even if you're not growing your tomatoes to a single stem. Of course, when you're growing tomatoes to a single stem, it means you won't have as much fruit as a tomato that's just allowed to grow wild and really spread out. Remember that tomatoes are weeds. They will grow indefinitely, well, until frost kills them, and they will send out suckers, which are offshoots, and I'll show you what I'm talking about in just a moment. Those offshoots will also become main stems, and those stems will form flowers and fruit. You have to get rid of them if you're growing to just one stem or one leader. So let's identify a sucker. Here's one right here. A sucker grows in the crotch between the main stem and a branch. So here's the main stem right here. Here is the sucker. And when the sucker is small, you can just pinch it off. And here is another sucker right here. Again, this is the main stem. And this is a branch. And the sucker is growing between the main stem and the branch. Snip. If you let these suckers grow to be 4 or 5 inches long, you can actually stick them in the soil, keep the soil moist, and they will create brand new plants. Now, I come up to the kitchen garden every single morning or afternoon or evening, whenever, and I do look for suckers and I do remove them. That's one thing about growing to a single stem. You have to stay on top of things, and those suckers can show up in a snap. So now the next part is actually very fun. You get to tie the stems to their supports. And for this, I like to use Velcro tape. Velcro tape is terrific because you can use it for year after year after year. After you've cut your pieces and tied your plants, in the fall, when you're removing all of the plants, just save all of the Velcro tape and reuse it for the next year. And I'm going to tie up some plants right now. So you cut off a length of the Velcro tape, and you do not want to tie tightly because you want the stems, you want to allow the stems room to thicken up. And you don't want to choke them. So I just tie loosely like this. This plant needs some tying too. That's it. And Velcro tape, of course, works like ordinary Velcro. One side sticks to the other. Here's another one to tie. And of course, you don't have to use Velcro tape. You could use, oh, there's a plastic garden tape, but it's not reusable. You could even use pantyhose. Oh, I know. You could use black fishnet stockings if you're into that sort of thing. And again, you can find this kind of garden tape or Velcro tape I think you can find it at any garden center. I know you can buy it online. I actually buy mine at one of those odd lot stores. So let's have a quick look at all of the tomatoes. Yeah, this is San Marzano. It's a paste tomato. This is Cherokee Purple. This is another heirloom. I can't remember its name, unfortunately. Here's another heirloom. I think it is Prune's Purple. There's another paste tomato. I think it's Amish paste. And then I have a whole row of Jetstar. Jetstar is a hybrid tomato. As you can see, they're all nicely tied. They have no suckers, and they have just one main stem. They're already flowering. In fact, I think all of the plants have flowers. This one has a lot of flowers. Of course, I'm not aiming the camera in the right place, but you'll just have to trust me, a lot of flowers on that plant. Okay, I'm sitting down now. I love raised beds because you can sit on the edge of them. Okay, what else did I want to say? Oh yes, so my tomatoes are mulched with straw, and beneath the straw are soaker hoses. I have soaker hoses in all of the beds here. I made a video about a month ago showing the watering system, and I do water the plants. You know, when the weather is mild, I'll water them maybe 2 or 3 times a week. When the weather's really hot, I will provide water daily, anywhere from 30 minutes to 90 minutes. And again, none of the water is wasted because they are soaker hoses and the water goes right to the roots. There's no evaporation. What else did I want to say? Oh yes, if you live in a hot and humid climate, as I do, you might want to grow your tomatoes to a single stem. You'll have the highest quality fruit. There's very little chance that you'll have any trouble with late blight or early blight or any fungal issues. And that's because there's plenty of air circulation when you're growing the plants to a single stem. And I think that's all I have to say about tomatoes. Oh, I fertilize mine with something called Tomato Tone. It's an organic fertilizer made by the Espoma Company. Not that I am promoting the Espoma Company. They are not paying me. I wish they would. Yeah, and I think that's all. So let me know how your tomatoes are doing where you live. And be sure to tell me where you live so I know what kind of climate you're dealing with. And if you learned anything from this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe and tap the little bell icon to receive notifications. I will see you very soon in the kitchen because I'm going to do another recipe. Bye for now.